early childhood care and education. And here also, let me tell you about now. They have also given focus on foundational literacy and numeracy. Foundational literacy and numeracy, which refers to our 3R, reading, writing, and arithmetic skills. And they say it is a learning crisis in India now. What is a learning crisis? Learning crisis means it is estimated that more than 5 crore children of India at school level have not attained foundational literacy and numeracy. Ability to read, ability to write, and ability to do simple mathematical operations. And in this connection, NCERT has conducted a number of studies saying that, and also one Pratham study also, it shows that students of class 5, they are not able to do simple mathematical operations of class 3, like that. And another thing is also there is another concern, that is dropout. Dropout, it is said that about 3.22 crore children are out of school now in the country. Although we are saying that we have attained 100% literacy, we have attained 100% gross enrollment ratio, but the situation is 3.22 crore children are out of school. And they have also given special emphasis on socio-economically disadvantaged groups. Now they have identified 6 categories of disadvantaged groups, and a new category have been added, that is transgender this time in the policy. And it also talks about the introduction of new courses like artificial intelligence, which is very new to us, although it has already been there in other parts of the globe, in developed countries. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, coding, and all these things. And another thing also, that a modular approach. It talks about the modular approach. At the secondary school stage, there will be so many courses. About in the draft document I have seen it, there are 32 courses. Modular courses refers to very self-contained unit, is a new paradigm to curricular restructuring. And as you know, previously we had like primary stage, upper primary stage, secondary stage, and higher secondary stage. But this time, keeping in view the brain development of the child, cognitive development of the child, it has restructured into 4 stages, like the foundational stage of 5 years, that includes 3 years of preschool education and classes 1 and 2. And next comes preparatory stage, classes 3, 4, and 5. And then third stage, that's middle stage, classes 6, 7, and 8. And the fourth stage is secondary stage. There is no higher secondary. This nomenclature will not be there. Classes 9, 10, 11, 12. These 4 years will be has been categorized as secondary stage. And this is what I wanted to say briefly about what are the thoughts of curricular and pedagogical structure. In this session, we have 6 speakers. Pedagogy at different stages of school education. Dr. Shankar Prasad Mahanti, present here, with seen, and with the head department of education, Ramadevi University, Women's University. So he will be the first speaker. The second speaker will be Madam, in continuation, Madam Dr. Romila Soni. Dr. Romila Soni is very keen to this preschool education, ECC pedagogy is very keen to Dr. Romila Soni. And now NCERT has identified, has evolved some model preschool centers, one in 4 regional institutes of education. And she has developed curricula, and she has visited. In fact, she has designed the preschool education, in model preschool education in the country, and she is also developing 3-year preschool curricula, because previously we had only 2 years curricula. So we'll be very happy to listen to Dr. Omila Soni. Then coming to Professor Juvaraj Khamari, his Department of Education, Sambalpur University. He'll be talking about experiential learning. Experiential learning is a new pedagogical structure of school education. This is an umbrella structure, and this has been very emphatically discussed in new NEP 2020 document. Professor Juvaraj Khamari will be discussing that, and he will be the third speaker. The fourth speaker will be Miss Mona Lisa Das. Mona Lisa, are you present? Mona Lisa? Mona Lisa is not seen. Miss Mona Lisa Das. She'll be talking about Professor Mohanty. Please contact call Mona Lisa. She will be talking about the introduction of contemporary subject. As I have discussed with her, she is a teacher having a mathematics background and mostly technology background. She will be telling about introduction of new courses, keeping in view the demands and need of the 21st century development of 21st century skills, like as it is said in artificial intelligence and machine learning and so on. And the fifth speaker will be Dr. Ramendra Padhi. He is from Head Department of Head School of Education, Central University of Odisha. Will be talking about the flexibility of choices of subjects. So our new education, this new policy talks about flexibility, giving flexibility. No hard separation between curricular and co-curricular, no hard separation between vocational and general. So the student know science and arts. So there would be that kind of flexibility has been allowed in this policy. Then coming to sixth speaker should be Dr. Latika Mishra. She will be talking on a multilingualism. And Dr. Latika Mishra is the Assistant Regional Director, IGNOS Regional Center, Koraput. In the past, she has worked with UNICEF and particularly multilingual education. As I know, I was also aware of that project. She has done many field works in Malkanagiri district and perhaps Venkanada, I don't know. In some other districts she has visited, and she has ground level experience on multilingual education. And a very comprehensive report brought out by UNICEF. She will be also explaining her experience. Now, without losing time, let us go to the first speaker, Dr. Shankar Prasad Mahanti, on pedagogy at different stages of school education. And let me tell you to all the speakers that please try to stick to 15 minutes, including your address to others, so many things. Try to minimize the address and come to the content and mostly your experience. So let us learn from Dr. Shankar Prasad Mahanti how is it finishing in 15 minutes, and then others will follow. Dr. Mahanti.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Nityananda Pradhan. Respected Srijukta Indramani Sen Chairman, Swami Vivekananda Loka Sansad, Gaon Trust, Dr. Vivekananda Behera, Convener, and esteemed chair of this colloquium, Professor Nityananda Pradhan. No need to tell about sir. Sir is my teacher, my PhD supervisor, my mentor, and everything. This is one sentence about sir, and I'm very happy to be with this organization, and I'm very delighted to tell next 15 minutes about NEP, pedagogical strategies at different stages of school education. So Uh, without making delay, I am sharing my screen, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir, is the screen it is there, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Now it is there.
Yes, yes, it is there.
Okay. I think it is clearly visible now. Yes. So I will try to finish within next 14 minutes because 1 minute is over. I have been assigned to talk on the pedagogical strategies at the different stages of school education. So before going to talk on that pedagogical strategies, although it is not new to all of us, still I thought to uh, tell this because as I went through the NEP document, I found um, all of us have seen that there are visions, particularly for the entire document. There is 2 3 visions. So, and these 3 visions they made me so confident to tell here that to develop among the students a deep sense of, because why I wrote down here, there is a logic, because to develop among the students a deep sense of respect towards the fundamental duties and constitutional values. It is not new to us. To instill among the learners a deep rooted pride in thought, spirit, intellect, and deeds. And third one, to develop knowledge, skill, value, and dispositions that support responsible commitment to human rights, sustainable development, and living. And finally, a global to make a global citizen. So why these 3 visions I wrote? Because the entire document, when I went through the entire document, I found the main objective is to prepare each learner a well-rounded individual, well-rounded, a creative individual. How to do this? So, school education is the baseline. School education is the grassroots. If we develop, if we prepare our learners, so if you start giving the curriculum, the pedagogy, and preparing the learners, so that we can get that well-rounded individuals in future. So it's very clearly written. The fundamental duties are there, constitutional values are there. But why this? Because these are only written in paper and pen. Now the NEP document has given the has emphasized to fractalize it. It is time has come. And second one is a deep-rooted pride in thought, spirit, intellect, and deed. Everything we know, but what is really happening, it is not happening. So deed is important, what we are thinking, that it must be practiced in actual life situations. So knowledge is important, skills are important, values are important, and our beliefs are important. So that all together can make a well-rounded individual, a creative individual. That is the vision of this document. That's why I wrote these visions. How to visualize, how to realize these objectives. So to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education in with reference to that learning opportunities, what is written in 2030 agenda, 2030 sustainable development goal 4, SDG 4, we can say the quality education, that is most important. Then to have an education system by 2040, the target is 2040. That is what is written, that is second to none. किसी से कम नहीं हो हम आएंगे, हम नीचे नहीं आएंगे, मतलब we will be at the first. We are dreaming, we are filing such an education system so that we can stand at the top. That is our objective. That should be our objective, to enhance essential learning and critical thinking. Essential learning and critical thinking are the 2 milestones. Without this, nothing will happen. Only learning, theoretical. Theory is not, theory cannot help us. Now the time has come to think on skills, critical thinking, essential learning. Those learnings are essential for our life. That must be there in our curriculum, in our pedagogy. That must be reflected in our activity. To create a new system of education that will be aligned with the aspirational goals of 21st century education. What I have learned from different speeches, that 21st century education. What is that? 25 aspirational goals. That is a real life situations. What we are, how we can face our life. That is 21st century education. That all these three visions are reflected with these through these four objectives. With this, what should be the pedagogical strategy? Although it may take more time, but as the time constraint is there, I will minimize my entire presentation. Pedagogical strategies. First, what is that? First, I will start talking on structural restructuring. What Professor Pradhan has told earlier, that is based on learning trajectory in accordance with developmental, cognitive, educational psychology. Three things. On the basis of three dimensions, entire system, entire structure has been changed. It is going to be changed. It is going to be implemented. Restructuring of school education, as Professor Pradhan told, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. The concept of that primary education, elementary education, secondary education, secondary education, 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern is gone. Now, the 4 stages: foundational stage, that we know, 5 years of schooling. What is important? Now, 3 years of preschool education, 3 years of preschool education, and plus 2 years of primary education. When class 1 and 2, they are combined together. That means within the age group of 3 to 8, this entire episode takes place. The foundational stage, it's about 5 years. Preparatory stage, about 3 years. Class 3 to 5. It is about 8 to 11 years of age student. They will be there. And middle stage, that is 3 years. That is class 6 to 8. Secondary stage, 4 years, class 9 to 12. So these are 4 structural changes are going to be happened. This is about structural. I named it structural restructuring, because pedagogical strategies cannot happen without the structural changes. So structuring the pedagogical styles. Then comes pedagogical styles at different stages. What does it mean? Pedagogical, how to learn. It is very clear. How to learn, what to learn, and how to become lifelong learners. Not only become only learners, but lifelong learners. Our objective is lifelong learners. So at foundational stage, what should be the pedagogical styles? Flexible, multi-level, play is more emphasized, and activity based. And finally, that is inquiry based learning. At preparatory stage or second stage, it will be more formal than that foundational stage. It will be more formal but interactive. Interactive will be there. And at middle stage, learning of abstract concepts. We can see here gradually the learning becomes a little in higher order. Learning of abstract concepts and experiential learning. The two things will happen. At secondary stage, secondary and higher secondary put together is secondary, that is 9, 10, 11, 12 class. It is greater critical thinking and multidisciplinary study. These 4 pedagogical styles have taken place in this document. So that will be, that is very nicely described and nicely designed. And if it practically, if it will be implemented, the entire system will be changed. And what I have mentioned in the vision, second to none, means हम किसी से कम नहीं, top level में हम आ जाएंगे. At foundational stage, the flexibility will be there, multi-level will be there, play, activity-based, inquiry-based, and learning. What will be there? As sir has told, Professor Pradhan sir has told, focus on communication ability, early languages, early language and literacy, reading and writing, and numeracy. These will be emphasized. How? The learning of alphabets, languages, including mother tongue, numbers, counting, colors, shapes, drawing, painting, play, logical thinking. We can see here logical thinking, everything is there. Problem solving, drawing, painting, through play, through painting, through counting, logical thinking, problem solving, everything has been incorporated. And other visual arts, visual art will be there, craft, drama, puppetry, music, etc. So besides this, developing social capacities, sensitivity, good behavior, courtesy, ethics, personal, public cleanliness is the most important aspect. Swachh Bharat concept is being reflected here. And the teamwork and cooperation. These qualities, these aspects are being emphasized at foundational stage. How to realize? There will be, these are the pedagogical styles what I have described here. Theme based approach. What is theme based approach? Specific theme. If we talk about a specific theme, such as about me, about who am I, about a plant, about an animal, about a fruit, vegetables, what are there around us, particular theme, you take for an example and you describe. The theme based approach can be helpful. Play based approach. Children, as the documents tell and the research tells, children learn best through play. प्ले से उससे ज्यादा दूसरा पेडागोजी नहीं है बच्चों के लिए. Play is the best pedagogy. Children can learn best through play. So stimulating, how to provide this opportunity? Stimulating materials are essential and different activities to be available. Only play based approach by saying it's not cannot solve our purpose. And third one is the projects inquiry based approach. Inquiry based approach, investigation, in-depth study of different topics, themes, with a small group of students in a particular class can be helpful. Activity based approach, opportunities for exploration and experimentation will be there. Here what happens? Sensory experience makes learning better and impactful. Activities such as outdoor activities, indoor activities, storytelling, these are the pedagogical styles about foundational stage. And preparatory stage is more formal. As I have told, it will be more formal but interactive. How to make it interactive? Play is the best way of interaction. Discovery, innovations, activity-based pedagogical style, emphasis on textbook. Emphasis is given to textbook here, as well as aspects of more formal but interaction. It can give a solid groundwork across subjects. Reading, writing, speaking, physical education, variety of subjects will be there. There will be an interactive classroom learning. And middle stage, learning of abstract concepts and experiential learning. As there is another topic is there, experiential learning. So abstract concept and experiential learning take place at this stage. Learning and discussion of abstract concepts in each subject across the science, mathematics, arts, social science, humanities. Experiential learning within each subject. There is a scope for experiential learning in each and every subject. The exploration of relations among different subjects means interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary. All these concepts will be started from this stage. Experiential learning. What is experiential learning? Experiential learning is the process, and I will tell only with 1 minute. Experiential learning is the process of learning from direct experience. It is not just a field work.
Dr. Sansad, keep it because Dr. Yuvraj will do that.
Okay, sir. Okay, experiential learning, one pedagogic style will be there. Okay, I am skipping this. So at secondary stage, there will be greater critical thinking and multidisciplinary approach will be there. So greater attention to life aspirations, that is most important. It is directly related to our life situations, life aspirations and future. So greater flexibility must be there, greater flexibility in choosing the subjects. That must be there. So it is there, it is written in that document. The document is a visionary document. Scope for one important aspect is there is a scope for exit after grade 10. After class 10, a student can exit from this system. And then there is a scope to entry into other courses, maybe vocational at 12 and 11, 12 classes.
Dr. Shankar, try to wind up in 2 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 minutes it is going to be completed, sir. And so because as the critical thinking is important, I will tell 1 minute about critical thinking. Critical thinking is the ability to think clearly and rationally. It is a higher order of thinking skill. What are the thinking skills? The learner can be able to distinguish between variables, facts, and values, distinguish relevant from irrelevant information, determine whether the statement is correct or incorrect, identify whether the source is credible or valid, and detecting bias, spotting ambiguous claims or arguments. And these are the critical thinking skills that will be developed. And critical pedagogy uh, can help for this development of critical thinking. Process of developing skills. It includes the whole practice of teaching before, after, and during the teaching itself. As NCERT document in national curriculum framework, it is there. It facilitates collective decision making through open discussion, encouraging, recognizing multiple views. There is a scope of democratic point of view in a classroom. It elicits responses from students. That is critical pedagogy. It is kind of pedagogy that can elicit that develop critical thinking. So with this, I conclude my talk that the four stages of learning, and during four stages of learning, what should be the pedagogic styles, and the restructuring of structural restructuring will be there, and pedagogical styles will be there. If the
Thank you.
real,
Thank you.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shankar Prasad Mohanty, for nicely keeping to time and also describing stage-specific pedagogical styles. So here I would like to add only two things, that all the pedagogical style of one stage is based upon the previous stage, pedagogical style of previous stage. So they are interlinked.
Yes, sir.
And that's one. And one very important thing, what this famous of this policy, or those are the draft, they say, I have heard from them that
Yes, sir.
our pedagogical style proceeds from perceptual to conceptual to prescriptive to abstract.
Yes, sir.
So these as they pass through these four stages,
Yes,
at
sir.
your foundational stage perceptual, at the preparatory stage conceptual, at the middle stage prescriptive, and at the secondary stage abstract. So mostly learning is cognitive in character. So thank you very much once again. Now we'll be listening to Dr. Romila Soni about ECC pedagogy. As I have told you, she's a national expert, rather international expert on this ECC pedagogy. She visits to different states and different regional institute of education to design preschool. Our preschool has been designed by her, and also the curriculum. This is also now in preparing 3-year curriculum, ECC curriculum. So over to Professor Romila Soni.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, and good afternoon to everyone. Is my slide visible?
Yes,
Yes, yes, visible.
Right. Good afternoon, respected Colloquium Chair, Professor Pradhan, sir, the facilitator, Shri Indramani, sir, and the convener, Dr. Meena Ketan Behra ji, and of course, the coordinator, Dr. Pradipta Kumar Sarangi, and dear participants. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. As Professor Pradhan has said, we have developed, with the help of all the RIs, we developed model preschools in 4 RIs, where the first one was, I think, Bhopal. So my topic is early childhood education, the pedagogy. I'll talk about what basically we have done in the model preschools, what pedagogy we have adopted, because my previous speaker, Dr. Mohanty, has already spoken about what is there in the National Education Policy 2020. So what ECC pedagogy is, what NEP 2020 also talks about, and what we also followed in all the 4 model preschools of RI located in RIs. So one, and we are very proud to say that whatever NEP 2020 is talking about right now, we have already transacted such kind of classroom processes in our model schools, and that is why we are calling these model preschools. So one is play-based, which in our NCERT curriculum also we talked about this, and the rich interactions among children, and that we call teacher child interactions and also child to child interaction. And so that is very, very important, and that also cover the 21st century skills, that is communication and connecting with the environment, where we emphasize on the use of locally available materials, because we do not pressurize, or we do not only promote the commercial toys or materials. We encourage our children to connect with the environment and explore the immediate environment. So this helps the children also to connect, as well as their learning gets faster and better, because we all know that children learn at their own pace. So what principles we follow in our model preschools for play and activity based pedagogy? Like we try to make it a balanced ECE program, where and how it becomes balanced is through active and quiet play. We provided free and guided play, indoor and outdoor play, and one I forgot to mention, that is concrete play to abstract, means like we do not promote too much of the worksheets. Rather, we promote toys and play materials, where the children learn easily and without pressure, and followed by appropriate, age appropriate and developmentally appropriate worksheets. And we used to provide a whole group activities, small group activities, and individual play activity, so that the observation and assessment becomes possible in all types of group activities. And whatever we say, but we followed a flexible program approach. So pedagogical innovative practices, what we followed in our model preschools, only through prior planning. So we did the long-term planning, short-term planning. We ensured that there is an inbuilt assessment based on continuous observation, and for that we trained our teachers. We ensured that the learning environment is such where communication channels are open between all the teachers and the children. And then inbuilt school readiness activities for smooth transition to primary school. As I said, that we are proud that we have already included all these things in our model preschools, because the NEP 2020 also talks about 3-month Bal Vatika module, which is popularly known as the school readiness program. So all the RI model preschools are already doing this. So just see the glimpses of our engaged children. We provide a developmentally appropriate equipment. We also give them sensory activities like exploring through water play, sand play, and how can we ignore the emotional development? So we have the appropriate emotional development toys, and we follow the age and developmentally appropriate play-based practices. And as I said, that interaction is one of the major pedagogy of ECC. So we ensure that there has to be opportunities for interaction, inbuilt foundational literacy and numeracy activities, which usually we used to call readiness activity, but now the NEP 2020 has given a new name, that is foundational literacy and numeracy. And using innovative play material, against our Honorable Prime Minister talks about the toy-based pedagogy. So the model preschool is already following the use of innovative play material and the toy-based pedagogy. And we also see that there is a flexible use of work. I've already mentioned about it: whole group, small group, and individual. And I think it's the effort of everyone that thoughtful use of learning resources and toys, uh, age and developmentally appropriate, because as Pradhan sir has already said that there are three classes, that is preschool 1, preschool 2, and preschool 3, which now the NEP 2020 is calling Bal Vatika. So we ensure that there are age and developmentally appropriate toys. Preference of use of home language, where we can proudly say that Odisha model preschool children, they are understanding Hindi also, English also, and they're talking Odia also. Similarly, the things we can see multilingualism in the Mysuru school as well. So integration of information technology, we also started doing the technology, developmentally appropriate technology in our preschool. So child friendly infrastructure, where, as Pradhan sir has mentioned, that we designed the preschool with the interest areas or the activity areas, and keeping in mind the foundational literacy and numeracy, which we now call as FLN. So that is reading area, math area, writing area, and other block building area, etc. So it is focused foundational literacy and numeracy area, along with the circle time for the whole group activity. And we also see that during our research study, the display has to be at the eye level of the children, and all the material needs to be duly labeled to enhance the foundational literacy. Low shelves are ensured for the easy accessibility of a play material, and child-friendly toilets and hand washing facilities. Playful literacy and numeracy-rich environment, which we already, designed our classrooms with, supports exploration, enable children to engage in a focused and self-directed play, and involvement of parents brings quality in ECCE program, and all children feel welcomed, and children flourish when there is a strong partnership between the parents and the school. So range of support for innovative practices. So we give due importance to the parent involvement. We have trained the helpers also in each of the preschools, and they are also able to do wonderful activities and storytelling with the children. Well-trained preschool teachers, which we have trained during the research study. And teachers develop the DIY, that is do-it-yourself toys, which again now the ministry is also talking about, but we have already inculcated all these things in our classroom transactions. So safe building, green surrounding area, and very good thing about the model preschools, where all the principals helped us in forming an appropriate adult child ratio, that is 1:20 and 1:25. And we ensured that all the RIs should have a EC program or 4-year duration. So we have also trained our teachers, empowered the teachers by giving a ECC curriculum, and teachers have developed a positive attitude towards the in-service trainings and the workshops, and they also follow the reflective practices, and it brought inbuilt assessment. And the photographs of the books which you can see has been distributed to the teachers, and all the teachers, all the RI preschools now have the portfolio record keeping, observation, and continued dialogue with the parents and the families. So this is all what we have done. There is much more to say, but here I stop so that my next speaker will not suffer. So thank you so much for your patient listening and cooperation.
Thank you, Dr. Romila Suni, for keeping our invitation. And again, I have no words to thank Dr. Romila Suni. She has talked about the model preschool curriculum she has designed. And actually, our preschool classes in the Regional Institute of Education have been divided into different areas, where they will play, where they will read, where they will sleep, where will they sit, and all that. And she has also designed, when she came first, I said, whatever you say, I will only implement. and that was our relationship. And she also asked us to observe Grandparents' Day, Parents' Day. These were very nice activities, and portfolio for each children, and how to design the portfolio. So many things, and toy-based pedagogy is very important. Now it has been focused in ECC pedagogy. I think a national toy festival, a national toy festival was held in Delhi, and to display the indigenous toys, because many toys are brought from foreign countries like China,
Yes,
China-made
sir.
toys. But now our preschool, they have discarded these China-made toys, and the toy festival has occurred. So now let us come to the next speaker, that is on experiential learning. Experiential learning is not a new exactly, but a pedagogical structure highly focused in our policy document. As constructivism to the earlier national curriculum framework, this policy talks about experiential pedagogy. It is a cluster of pedagogy, an umbrella structure, and we'll be listening to Dr. Ramendra Pari, Head School of Education, Central University of Odisha, Koraput. So over to sorry. Professor Juvaraj Khamari from Department of Education, Sambalpur University, is running many new programs there. Over to Professor Juvaraj Khamari. Dr. Juvaraj?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pradhan, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So I request all the speakers to stay back, so that at the end of all the presentations, we will be having some question answer also. Pradipta to record the questions like the earlier session. Okay. Dr. Juvaraj, you please start your presentation. Any problem, Professor Juvaraj? I think he is disconnected. Professor Juvaraj, are you able to listen?
Sir, please unmute your mic. Jugraj sir, please unmute your mic.
Professor Juvaraj Khamari, please unmute your mic. Yes.
Thank you, Pradhan, sir. Esteemed Chairman, Moga Trust, Sri Indramani Sen, Convener, Dr. Minketan Behera, Moga Siksha Parishad, and respected Professor Nityanand Pradhan, sir, coordinator Moga Siksha Parishad, and coordinator of this program, Dr. Pradipta Kumar Sodangi, along with all the members of organizing committee. I am very much thankful for giving this opportunity to share my view regarding experiential learning. Is it my PPT visible, sir?
Do it full screen. Do it please full screen.
Yes, it is visible.
Is it full screen? Am I audible?
Yes, it's audible. Not at full screen.
No, not at full screen. It would not be full screen also. So you continue with this.
Okay. Experiential learning is nothing but the learning by doing or learning by direct experience. NDP 2020 emphasis on how the pupils or the learners will learn.
Please change your screen. Please the slide change करिए. Next slide को जाइए. I think there is some issue in change of slide.
No, I think
Okay,
you,
experiential learning.
yeah, the slide is not changing. You do one thing, you just again say, just close it and reshare it.
Is it changing?
You close it and again start.
Just close, stop the sharing. Yeah, coming, yeah. And now it is coming.
And another suggestion is that it is less than 50% below. So you can expand it. The bottom right corner,
Is it visible
you
now?
can see it is visible, sir, but it can, oh, gone.
I think there is some network issue.
Sir, you can go orally, no issue.
Professor Yuvraj, is there any network problem? Hello? We'll do one thing, we'll go to the next speaker before the message.
It's coming.
Again become smaller.
No, the slide is, I think.
नहीं सर, अगर पहले से उसको स्लाइड शो कर लेंगे तो आसानी हो जाएगी. पहले से स्लाइड शो कर देंगे तो. जुबराज सर,
Or below,
Yes, ma'am.
you can see that it is around 30% or less than that. So you can just click the plus. It will be enlarged.
yes, I can
Is
see.
it now visible?
It's not visible, sir. You are minimizing it.
जुबराज सर, जो नीचे
Please
30% आ रहा है ना, उसको बड़ा कर दीजिए.
हाँ, उसको
Okay.
आप 100% करा दीजिए तो हो जाएगा.
100% ज्यादा हो जाएगा.
तो बीच को ले आइए.
Bottom right corner, sir. Bottom right corner. ଏ ପ୍ଲସ୍ କୁ ଟିକେ କ୍ଲିକ୍ କରିଦେଲେ ସେ ବଡ଼ ହେଇଯିବ. ଆମେ ଦେଖିପାରିବୁ. ବହୁତ ଛୋଟ ଅଛି.
जुबराज सर स्लाइड शो जान्तु and preview karantu.
Yes, it's good now. It's better.
Okay.
Already it
Yes,
is.
yeah. Please continue.
Yes.
Now it is okay.
Already it is 100%. Okay.
ठीक है, करिए.
It's okay, sir. Please continue.
Okay. So experiential learning should be will be adopted in all stages as per LEP 2020, because experiential learning is nothing but learning by direct experience. Students should learn by active participation in their own. Therefore, LEP suggested it should be implemented in all stages, including hand-on learning. Hand-on learning means students should learn mathematics by solving the problem themselves. Like in English, people should write or compose poems or write story or telling short story like this. Secondly, art integrated. That means experiential learning will be adopted, including art integrated. Here, art integrated means learning through art, both performing arts like dancing, singing, like this. And also, it should be sport integration education, means learning should be integrated through different game and sports. Fourth one is storytelling based pedagogy. For the purpose is to close the gap in achievement of learning and outcomes, to shift classroom transaction towards competency-based learning and education. Third one is the assessment tools, including assessment of learning, assessment as learning, and assessment for learning. Art integration means art integration is a cross-curricular pedagogical approach that utilizes various aspects and forms of art and culture as the basics of learning of concept across subjects. And art integration education will be embedded in classroom transition for creating joyful classroom and also for imbibing the Indian ethos through integration of Indian art and culture in the teaching and learning process at every level. Like this, sport integration is another concept which is also a cross-curricular pedagogical approach that utilizes physical activities including indigenous sports in pedagogical practice to help in developing skills such as collaboration, self-initiatives, self-directions, self-discipline, teamwork, responsibility, citizenship, etc. Then sport integrated learning will be undertaken in classroom transition to help students adopt fitness as a lifelong attitudes and to achieve the related life skill along with the level of fitness as envisaged in Fit India movement. Sport integration is needed to integrate sports in education to recognize and to foster holistic development by promoting physical and psychological well-being while also enhancing cognitive abilities. In this context, in all stages, experiential learning will be adopted, including hand-on experience. I like to say hand-on experience means students should learn by doing the work in their own. For example, what I have given to like learning by solving the problems of mathematics, writing poems in English, just like telling short stories, just like in Odia, then having gregarious practice in the science lab. Like this, art integrated here means students should learn by the means of different art program. Teachers should conduct different art. That means teachers should conduct different program for art like performing arts, and also sport integration here means we should teach our student by the means of different game and sports program. Here one important point is that indigenous sports, that means what already we have implemented in the school, that is Kho is one indigenous sports. So all the type of sports should be implemented, either teaching techniques or teaching methods in the pedagogical practice to help in developing skill such as collaborating the learnings, self-initiative, that means students should learn in their own initiations, they should get their own self-directions, they should develop self-discipline and also learn about teamwork, and also the sense of responsibility they can learn, and though they should think about the characteristic of a good citizenship, etc. So sport integration is important as per NEP 2020 in our school curriculum at all stages. In this connection, it must be needed to integrate the sports in education at every level to foster their holistic development. Your holistic development means they should develop physically sound, mentally mature, emotionally balanced, culturally refined, spiritually enlightened, intellectually gifted, and morally virtuous, as well as a self-developed persons. So sport integration is an important point which is needed for holistic development of the learners. So it is not only for promoting physical and psychological well-being, rather it is all-round development of the personality. So with this, I like to conclude my lecture. Thank you all.
Thank you, Professor Jivaraj, for elaborating experiential learning. If I say, then you have said that experiential learning at all stages of education, and you have talked about that it includes art integrated learning, ICT integrated learning, sports-based learning, storytelling-based pedagogy, and also hands-on practices. So the main focus in experiential learning is our shifting, that is shift from content-based competency to, from content to competency. It
Thank you,
means
sir.
that we have to learn competency, and he has also told that it is a cross-curricular pedagogy, which means that art integrated pedagogy or ICT based pedagogy or sports integrated pedagogy not confined to a particular subject. Art integrated pedagogy can be used to teaching and learning social sciences, mathematics, language, and other subjects. So that therefore these are all cross-curricular pedagogical practices. And one important thing I would like to say that some you may think that experiential learning means having only field experience. So field experience is not important in experiential learning because experience term is there. It means the fundamental to experiential learning is reflection. If you are taking the students to field or at four walls of the classroom or inside the school building, but they should have reflection. If there is no reflection and you are taking the students to field, then that is not experiential. So this is therefore how we'll be discussing later. Now let us go to the fourth speaker. She is Miss Mona Lisa Das from Department of Education, Jagraj Nagar College, Odisha. And she is going to discuss about introduction of contemporary subjects. She is very thorough, as I understand, in the contemporary curriculum and contemporary courses, as National Education Policy talks about introduction of some new subjects in addition to the traditional subjects. Over to Mona Lisa Das.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Chairman of Gaon Trust, Shri Indramani sir. Respected Convener, Dr. Meenaketan Behra sir. And Reverend Professor Nityananda sir, Colloquium Chair. And dear audience. So the National Education Policy, just a minute, let me share first. Is my screen visible?
No.
It's not visible.
Mona Lisa, you share screen.
Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, now it's now is it visible, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So the National Education Policy 2020 is the first education policy of the 21st century, and it aims to address the many growing developmental imperatives of our country. This policy envisages the revision and revamping of all aspects of the education structure so as to create a new system that is aligned with the aspirational goals of the 21st century education, including the sustainable development.
Move your slide, Mona Lisa, please move your slides.
Yeah, I have not yet started, sir. I'll do that.
Okay.
While building upon India's traditions and value system, this was already mentioned by Dr. Mahanti. So thus NEP 2020 by MHRD, Government of India, clearly speaks about introduction of contemporary subjects in school education. So that is my topic for today. So as I've mentioned, because we want to inculcate those skills and qualities in the students so as to go along with this 21st century. So why this contemporary subjects means inculcation of those skills and qualities. So these are scientific temper and evidence-based thinking, creativity and innovativeness, health, nutrition, physical education, fitness, wellness and sports, sense of aesthetics and arts, ethical and moral reasoning, collaboration and teamwork, problem solving and logical reasoning, digital literacy, coding and computational thinking. Moreover, we also want to inculcate environmental awareness, including water and resource conservation, sanitation and hygiene, citizenship skills and values, knowledge and practice of human and constitutional values, current affairs and knowledge of critical issues facing local communities, states, the country, and the world, ethical and moral reasoning, gender sensitivity, and fundamental duties. So, to have all these in the children, we need to introduce the contemporary subjects, namely the artificial intelligence, design thinking, holistic health, organic living, environmental education, and global citizenship education, to name a few. So let us move along with the artificial intelligence. So the artificial intelligence is actually the field of computer science that is associated with the concept of machines thinking like humans to perform tasks such as learning, problem solving, planning, reasoning, and identifying patterns. In a layman's term, we can simply say that artificial intelligence is a way of making a computer, a robot, or a software think and act like a human. So when we say all these, we have a confusion like what exactly is artificial intelligence. So let me tell you some of the top used applications in artificial intelligence that we generally use in our daily lives. These are Google artificial intelligence powered predictions, like many of us use Google Maps. Then ride sharing applications like Uber. Then artificial intelligence autopilot in commercial flights. Spam filters on emails. Plagiarism checkers and tools. Face recognition. Then search recommendations. Voice to text features. Smart personal assistants. So smart personal assistants, we have Siri from Apple, and we have Cortana from Microsoft, Alexa from Amazon, and Google Assistant. We all have seen that when we give a voice command, how it helps us. We also have the fraud protection and prevention, which works on artificial intelligence. So we all are using it, but we somehow don't know about it. So most of the artificial intelligence used here, I have discussed. Then the domains of artificial intelligence. So these domains will be taught. If artificial intelligence is a subject that the student learns, then it has the domains like machine learning, deep learning, neural networks, natural language processing, computer vision. Machine learning is actually a subset of artificial intelligence, and deep learning is rather a subset of machine learning. Neural networks works as if our brains and our neurons work like that. It is based on our human system. And natural language processing, like the translations we do from one language to another with the help of Google. In the Google Docs, we have got this facility. And the computer vision, the image recognition and all that comes under computer vision. So we have various advantages of artificial intelligence, like it reduces the human error. It is available for 24/7, helps in repetitive work. It is a digital assistance. It gives us the faster decisions, and it helps in making rational decision. It is also used in medical applications, like suppose we get an X-ray and we want to locate where is the cancerous cells. So we can do that with the help of artificial intelligence. It improves security, and it also helps in efficient communication. So our next subject for in the introduction of the subjects we can discuss is the design thinking. The design thinking is a very popular approach to getting started with innovation. We all speak of innovation in the 21st century, but we have not explicitly given a subject to the students. So this can come to the rescue. So design thinking is a human-centered creative problem-solving approach with a series of stages that we can work through. So its steps are, it has got 5 steps. The first step is empathize. This means we explore what is the requirement or what is the problem, and we interview, observe, gain insights about the thing. Then in the next step, exploring all this thing helps us to define in the next step the problem, the exact problem. We pinpoint the problem there, and then we search for the solutions. Like we do brainstorming and we ideate. We get lots of ideas for finding the solutions of that problems. Then in the next step, we prototype. What we do is we find a solution to that problem, and at the last we test the solutions with the actual users, whether it is contextually correct for using or not. Design thinking is actually an iterative process. We might go through the 5 steps a few times before finding the right solution. So in case we don't find the right solution, then we are going to empathize, or we are going to find lots of more ideas so that it will click. So the next one is holistic health. Holistic health or holistic healing is often defined as a form of healing that looks at the whole person, body, mind, spirit. Actually, the word holistic health is used many times in literature with a variety of different connotations. Holism also has its origin in the Greek word holos, which means whole. So while people are living longer today, it has been observed that they're experiencing chronically high levels of stress and fatigue. That is, that consuming nutrient depleted foods and are exposed to hundreds of potentially harmful chemical through air, water, and personal care products daily. So it becomes imperative, it becomes obvious for us to go for this holistic health as a subject, so that we get the solution for the body as a whole and not the parts of it. So the focus of the holistic health can be like, there are 5 aspects of holistic health: physical, emotional, social, spiritual, and mental. In the physical, we deal with like how we can remain physically fit by 8 hours of sleep or eating the right nutrient, and emotional, like mindfulness and journal writings; social, like maintaining connections in local and with the community; spiritual, by meditation; mental, problem solving abilities, dealing with it. So all these things come into the picture, and making children aware of it will definitely serve the purpose. The next one is organic living. Organic living is actually a lifestyle in a way that is healthy for us and the environment. When we speak of foods, organic foods, we mean that the food stuff that did not go through the fertilization and fertilizers, like fertilizers were not used and pesticides were not used, and we tell that that is an organic food. Similarly, for living organic simply means a healthy lifestyle, much as the food that is not processed with harmful. What exactly organic lifestyle? So I have spoken it, like simply if we put it together, so living in an organic way does not mean only eating healthy or having a healthy diet, but also doing good deeds for the earth. So some of them can be, list of the ways to live an organic lifestyle can be eating organically, incorporating organic food products into our home, and getting around, like traveling and all. So we can use less fuel or drive a fuel efficient car, and alternative methods of transportation, public transportation. Eating organically, we can grow our own plants. All these things children need to know, and only awareness won't be sufficient. We need that the children should also practice this in their lives. Then environmental education. Environmental education is a learning process that increases people's knowledge, awareness about environment and associated challenges. It develops the necessary skills and expertise to address the challenges, and fosters attitudes, motivations, and commitments to make informed decisions and make responsible action. So just knowing it won't help. We have to take actions for that accordingly. So some components of environmental education which must be in the subject should be like awareness and sensitivity to the environment and environmental challenges, knowledge and understanding of the environment and environmental challenges, attitudes of concern for the environment and motivation to improve or maintain environmental quality, skills to identify and help resolve environmental challenges, participation in activities that lead to the resolution of environmental challenges. So, and we have come to the last part, the global citizenship education. The global citizenship education, here we speak about global education. Here it refers to a sense of belonging to a broader community and common humanity. It emphasizes political, economic, social, and cultural interdependency and interconnectedness between the local, national, and the global. It was said by UNESCO in 2014. This is very pertinent because in today's globalized and interconnected world, inequality, human rights violence, and poverty still jeopardize peace and environmental sustainability. In response to these challenges, global citizenship education has been identified as a means to prepare the youth for an alternative, inclusive, and sustainable world. Indeed, efforts to move along a sustainable development path may only be achieved by promoting global justice. Therefore, schools have a fundamental role to play in empowering learners to become responsible and active global citizens. Therefore, I appreciate this act of introducing global citizenship education in the curriculum. The components, some of the components of the global citizenship education are education for sustainable development, in that we deal with education for development and environmental education, multicultural education, which comprises of inclusive education, social justice and equality, respect for diversity. At last, we deal with citizenship education, in that students will learn about human rights education, education for gender equality, and civic and moral education. So this was all about the introduction of the subjects in NEP 2020. So from this we can conclude that the introduction of these subjects will definitely enable the students to become successful, innovative, adaptable, and productive human beings in today's rapidly changing world. Thank you for your patient listening.
So, Dr. Mona Lisa, for your nice presentation, and as I can see, you have done a very good homework, because in the policy document only things are there, the concepts are there. I was worried who will take up this topic, like only things that machine learning, artificial intelligence, organic living, holistic health, GSET. These things are given in our policy document, but with good homework, you have very nicely narrated the topics, new subjects. Thank you very much. Now, let us go to the fifth speaker. That is on flexibility in choices of courses. As I have said, national education policy mostly talks about bridging the hard separation between curricular and co-curricular subjects, vocational and general curriculum or subjects. So between science and arts. So there is ample flexibility has been thought of, and therefore, as I said, a modular curriculum has been suggested for school education. And so now over to Dr. Ramendra Pari from School of Education, Odisha, for presentation. Over to Dr. Pari.
Thank you, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, yes, yes.
Good afternoon to you all. Respected Chairman, Swami Vivekananda Loka Parishad, Indramani Sen, respected convener, Dr. Minketan Behra, and esteemed chair of this colloquium, Professor Nityanand Pradhan sir, distinguished dignitaries present here, respected research persons, and all the participants present here. At first, I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the organizing team, basically, for giving me the opportunity to interact with you. And as Professor Pradhan sir has mentioned here, I will try to conclude my talk in 15 minutes. As you know that the National Education Policy 2020 exactly, so this has come into force after the gap of 34 years. Why? Because you know that after the National Policy on Education 1986, this policy has come into force. But I would like to mention here, this policy is not merely a policy document, but it is the reflection of the aspirations of the people of India. Why? Because if you look at the policy, then you can understand. So it aims at to make India a knowledge power. Because the policy is clearly mentioned, it aims at to bring the transformational changes in the education system of our country, because it focuses on the holistic and multidisciplinary approaches. Basically, what I think here, it aims at to bring changes in the students. That means by making them adapt to 21st century skills. So always we talk about 21st century skills, and all of us we know that. So what are the 21st century skills? Because when we talk about 21st century skills, then definitely it aims at the development of the critical thinking, your creativity, analysis, synthesis, similarly the power of, for example, your synthesizing the thing, even like that, your imagination. So, but exactly to me, here the key is implementation and the execution. Because no doubt the policy is a comprehensive one, but what I would like to mention here, the key is here implementation or execution. Because if you look at the policy, no doubt, so it is a major task, all suppose in front of us, to implement this comprehensive policy. And what I think that here, with regard to the implementation, with regard to the execution, so it is felt that the teachers, not only teachers, even the researchers, social workers, academicians. So basically, it is the responsibility of all those concerned for the successful implementation and execution of this policy. And I do hope that this e-Colloquium would definitely be helpful towards the implementation of this comprehensive national education policy. And here in this session, basically, we'll be discussing on the flexibility in choice of subjects, particularly in school perspective. And if you look at the policy, so here it emphasizes on the reduction in curriculum to enhance essential learning and critical thinking. That means if you look at the policy, then, and there is the claim also, there is the claim that it is everybody's policy. Why? Because this policy is based on the practical suggestions of the people of the society. And you will be surprised to know that approximately, to my knowledge, more than 23 lakhs of suggestions came to the ministry, and later on which were sent to the chairman of this committee, Dr. K. Kasturirangan, and where many issues have been also addressed with ground reality and experience. And if you look at the policy exactly recognizes from the input of teachers, students, as I told you, even it also recognizes the input of educational scientists. That means on the basis of the input of the educational scientists, teachers, students, and also those who are concerned in this field, the curriculum is overloaded. What does it mean? Because even if you look at the recommendations of Yashpal Committee and National Curriculum Framework 2005, so you can also see they have also clearly mentioned that. So that means there is a great need of reducing this overloaded curriculum. That means the aim is to reduce particularly to reduce the overloaded curriculum in favor of more engaging like that, more experimental like that, or you can say like that, in favor of the analysis-based learning basically. And that is the need of the hour. If you look at the policy, definitely, so that is also the need of the hour. And just I would like to mention here, with regard to basically the flexibility in choice of subjects. So here I mentioned about the reduction of the existing curriculum. And there is the relationship, there is the close relationship with between the reduction of curriculum with the flexibility with regard to the choice of subjects. Because reducing the curriculum load will definitely provide a greater scope for understanding, not only understanding the analysis and discussion, and which will also enable the learners, or you can say like that, the students, to search, to explore courses and subjects beyond the traditional curriculum, beyond the current traditional curriculum. That means here the student must be permitted, the students must be empowered with regard to the choice of subjects. That means there should be more flexibility with regard to the choice of subjects where they opt. And exactly we are talking about talking with regard to the choice of subjects at secondary level. And in particular, I would like to mention here, the students must be given time and the options to make experiment with different subjects. And that means when they will get hands-on experience, and gradually they will get the access what they want to do with their lives in their future. So that means the specialization should be delayed. Suppose with regard to particularly in school education context, I would like to mention here, the specialization should be delayed here. If you look at the present education system, suppose going from the secondary education to higher education, the students are always called for opting among the subjects, among the streams and disciplines. But if you look at the policy, so it aims exactly, it focuses, it aims at to make education considerably flexible. That means which is the requirement for the 21st century. That means the policy basically focuses on the holistic development. And that's why there should be the wide choice of subjects and courses. As already Professor Nityanand Pradhan sir has mentioned with regard, that means there should not be any hard separation. There should not be any hard separation between the curricular, extracurricular and co-curricular, suppose activities, components like that. Even there should not be also hard separation between the arts, humanities and sciences. Even as sir also mentioned here, there should not be any hard separation between the vocational courses and the academic courses. So that means, as you know, that education aims at all-round development. So the policy also emphasizes on that aspect. That means all fields of human endeavor, including arts, your art, craft, even your sports also, are valuable to both human and as well as social development also. So that's why students should be actively pursued these in the curriculum. As we are talking about holistic development, that's why the students should be given opportunity to actively pursue these particular aspects in their curriculum. And in particular, I would like to mention here the extracurricular or the co-curricular activities must be considered as curricular. That is the intention. Because the holistic approach to education must come hand in hand with the student empowerment. And so there should be choice. There should be choice with regard to subjects. And basically, here I would like to mention one important point. That means the students' choice are not dictated simply by the parents and the society, but it should be based on their own experiences. It should be based on their own interest. It should be based on their own reflections. If you look at the conventional system, what we are practicing nowadays, the subjects are basically narrowed down into streams, starting from secondary education onwards. Because we started creating engineers and doctors with such narrow viewpoints that even they don't know anything what is happening around them. That means we are preparing doctors and engineers with this viewpoint. So this is the narrow viewpoint. That means, so even they don't have any idea what is happening around them. That because if you look at the curriculum, class 10 would have been, I think that the last class where these people, particularly the doctors, engineers, what I am taking their names, would have read means anything about the social sciences or political sciences or with regard to current affairs. So I think that it did a lot of harmony to our society. So those are the things what the policy is exactly it is trying to pull down. So we have to focus on that. And just moving forward, I would like to mention here, the world is moving towards the skill-based requirements. So that's why there should be much flexibility with regard to the choice of subjects. Why? Because one particular course, or you can say one particular stream, will not get people jobs. I'm talking about the futurity with regard to the future of our students. That means only as we are moving towards the skill-based requirements. So that's why in that context, I would like to mention here, one particular course or one particular stream will not get people jobs in the future, because multidisciplinary skills are very much needed. But here the bigger challenge may be educating the students and teachers even about the system, what exactly the policy means focuses on. So it is not just putting them in a particular stream and let them go. So we have to streamline, and the schools also have to adjust individual students. That means accordingly what the policies focuses on. So this is the end of my presentation. I think that just I have not crossed the time limit. Thank you, sir, for your patience listening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ramendra, for your going to the spirit of this presentation. Like compartmentalize, you have told about compartmentalization and narrowing down of, and that has been in fact criticized in the National Curriculum Framework 2005. There is compartmentalization. So this is against compartmentalization. When we are talking of flexibility in the choice of subjects, you see, as a stage, when we are talking of secondary stage, there is no higher secondary, and again in higher secondary we have arts, science, and commerce. That is not there. There is the courses will be open. Therefore I am repeatedly telling about the modular approach to curriculum. There will be basket of subjects, and in the draft 2019, they have given a list of 42 subjects in modular approach. That will be presented in modular approach, and from the basket of subjects, the students will choose. There will be some core subjects which are common for everybody, and there will be some choices. Now, if you are a science students, you have to take physics, chemistry, mathematics, or biology, and your choices are limited. Now, you see, in medical science, you have given right to give an example that there is a doctor for nose, there is a doctor for liver, and all that. And in the future, if this trend will continue, there will be also a doctor for right nose and for left nostril. And that kind of situation will also come. So you have rightly mentioned, and you have, because that will also you have told about the reduction of curriculum. Reduction of curriculum will curb the coaching culture or tuition culture, and that will mostly lead to competency, development of competency, rather than content mastery to competency mastery. So very nice presentation, Dr. Pari. Now we'll go to the last presenter, Madam Dr. Loka Mishra, Assistant Regional Director, IGNOU Regional Center, Koraput, and she has, I have requested him to talk about her field experience. She has worked in multilingual education of program of UNICEF and NCERT. That was a UNICEF NCERT joint program. If I am correct, Latika, Dr. Latika Mishra?
Sir.
So you just narrate your field experience about the multilingual experience. Carry on.
Hello, sir. The screen is hello. Is visible, sir?
Visible. Full screen, how is it?
Okay, okay. Sir. Good afternoon to one and all. Respected chair of this session, Sri Indrani sir, and the chair of this program, Professor Nityanand Pradhan sir, the convener of this program, Dr. Vivekananda Behera, and the organizing team. Really, it's a great pleasure for me to be a part of this program. So I express my special thanks to Pradhan sir and all the personalities, those who are the instrumental in organizing this program. As I request the organizing team, please share this PPT because I am not able to go ahead.
Okay, okay.
So in the meantime, I will share some experiences related to this National Education Policy 2020 and multilingualism. Because as we know that language, the role of language in learning different things, whatever the subject, whatever the content, but without competence in the language, we cannot.
Yes. Carry on.
We cannot. Okay. Next slide. We cannot learn it properly.
So with this slide.
Next slide, please.
Slide is moving.
No. Yes. Second slide. Yes.
See, left.
The second slide. Yes.
This one.
Yes. So language plays a formative role in the development of the child's personality and abilities because it shapes the child's perception of the world, interests and capabilities, and even values and attitudes. What is the significance of language? From this point of view, I can say here I have noted some of the committees and the authorities, those who have given importance to the importance of language and the life of the children. So UNESCO supports bilingual and multilingual education at all levels of education. Similarly, National Education Policy 1986 also emphasized the importance of mother tongue. Program of Action 1992 also recognized. Similarly, National Curriculum Framework 2005 also recommended language teaching. It emphasized language teaching needs to be multilingual. And after that, the Right to Education Act 2009 also emphasized the medium of instruction of the child should be as far as practicable in their mother tongue. So in this context, when NEP formulated, more importance has also been given in NEP on mother tongue. That is, because mother tongue can improve learning, mother tongue in increasing the students' participation and reduce the number of dropouts. And children can also learn and grasp non-trivial concepts more quickly in their home language or in mother tongue. Here I have given one slide regarding the importance of multilingualism that is mentioned in NEP document. Because multilingualism has cognitive benefits to young children. From our experiences, we can also accept this statement that because though the entire environment, there are so many people there speaking different languages, but with that environment, we cannot learn at adult stage. But children pick up languages quickly between the ages 2 and 8. And multilingualism can form India's national identity and wealth. And multilingualism leads towards cultural enrichment as well as national integration, particularly in the context of India. And multilingualism can allow children to learn different languages based on geographical areas and help to get a sense of the nature and structure of tribal languages. Similarly, multilingualism situation provide both a sense of the unity and beautiful cultural heritage and diversity of India. So in this context, recognizing the importance of multilingualism, particularly at school education level, some of the action plans mentioned in the NEP 2020, the medium of instruction will be the home language or mother tongue or local language or regional language until at least grade 5, but preferably till grade 8 and beyond. And that is to be followed by both public and private school. It doesn't mean that only the students of government school they will get the opportunity, but the students of all the schools managements they will get that opportunity. And bridging the gaps that exist between the language spoken by the child and the medium of teaching. Not only this, high quality textbooks to be made available in the mother tongue, which now it's not possible to provide such books to children. And children will be exposed to languages early on, starting from the foundational stage onwards. Similarly, all languages will be taught in an enjoyable and interactive style with plenty of interactive conversation and with plenty of early reading and subsequently writing in the mother tongue. And teachers, they are also bound to use bilingual teaching learning approach and materials. And particularly in some context, some situation, the scenario is different, because even in one village, you may find the children from two communities. In that situation, the transaction between the teacher and students will remain the home language. The textbook may be in different language. Similarly, the 3 language formula will be implemented to promote multilingualism and national unity. The 3 languages will be the choice, of course, that will be the choices of state, and at least 2 of them are native to India. And the development of high quality bilingual textbook and teaching learning materials. Another importance has been given in NEP, that is the importance of classical languages, particularly Sanskrit, Pali, Persian and Prakriti. And the teaching of languages will be based on experiential learning pedagogy. And Indian Sign Language will be standardized across the country. And use of, this is another important new statement, that is use of technology for teaching and learning of different languages, and production of e-content in 8 regional languages to encourage digital content. Initially, 8 languages have been given importance. So based on these experiences, whatever things mentioned in the NEP and formulated and prescribed in NEP 2020 based on the research and based on the field experiences. In this context, in the coming slides, I will share the one of the experiences of Odisha, that is multilingual education program. In brief, I will say the government of Odisha adopted the multilingual education program in 2006, and the state Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan initiated that program in 10 languages of Odisha, particularly the tribal languages Saura, Juang, Munda, Santali, Bonda, Koya, Kisan, Oram, Kui and Kui. And the project was for a period of 5 years on pilot basis, and that was the project implemented in 10 districts of Odisha: Gajpati, Rayagada, Keonjhar, Mayurbhanj, Sundargarh, Sambalpur, Malkangiri and Kandhamal. And I was associated with the project as state research officer, because particularly I was associated with the evaluation of this project. That evaluation was done by NCRT. So as a state research officer, I visited most of the districts and also conducted surveys and visited many schools to monitor the implementation of this program. So around more than 500 schools initially implemented this MLE approach, in which teachers from their respective language were placed. And the teachers involved in the curriculum development and material production were also the makers of training module. And some of the important findings of that project was MLE program has been found successful in creating interest among students for going to school. And after the introduction of MLE program, the retention of children increased, possibly because children understood the contents properly and expressed comfortably. Community members were also found to be actively contributing. They took part not only in physical activities like development of the boundary or development of the schools building, etc., but they also contribute in co-curricular activities like storytelling, art and craft, and traditional games, etc. And children could get opportunity to share their knowledge. And in turn, parents had also taught the children about their local knowledge. That was the major achievement of this program. And children's confidence and competence level have been increased. They were self-motivated and interacted with the teachers freely. And not only that, they participated in the classroom transaction process.
Mr. Ramprasad Barik, please mute yourself.
Yes, education policy.
Mr.
And also-
Ramprasad, yes, carry on.
They participated in the classroom and also gained first-hand experience outside the classroom. And children became articulate and developed fluency while interacting with the teachers and peer groups. And their perception regarding learning different subjects also improved. This is all about the program. This is the program implemented by the government of Odisha and the evaluation work done by NCERT. But here in the coming slides, I will share some of my unpleasant experiences related to language and some of the pleasant experiences what I learned through this project. I visited one school of Bandhuga block when I was with as district pedagogy coordinator under SSA Koraput. During that period, I visited one school of Bandhuga block of Koraput district, Odisha, to monitor the conduct of annual examination. And when I visited one school, there were 7 children sitting in the class, and one teacher was present there. All question cum answer scripts were there in the table, but those answer sheets were packed, not opened. And during the interaction with teachers, I came to know that students were not in a position to write anything. And when I tried to interact with the children, I failed. And when I requested the teachers to motivate the teachers to students to interact with me, teacher responded that the language of the children are completely different and they could not interact with you. When I requested the teacher to interact with the children in their language, he expressed his inability to talk with the children because of the language problem. The most pathetic scene of that situation, that is, there were no interaction between the teacher and the children for last 5 years because of the language problem, because the teacher was from coastal area of Odisha and he was posted in the most tribal pockets of Koraput district. This was my experience, unpleasant experience related to the language problem. And now I am sharing one of my experience related to this implementation of MLE program. I visited Sialimal Primary School of Malkanagiri district, which was adopted under multilingual education program of Sarva Shiksha Vision. I met the chairman of village education committee, the headmaster, teacher, and all the other persons related to the implementation of that program. And I observed the classroom transaction process of class 1 students of Koya language. All the children of that school, they were from Koya community. The MLE teacher of the school, Mr. Sunadhar Madkami, who was from that Koya community, took a language class for class 1 students. And there were 14 students sitting in class 1 and all were from Koya community. That is a tribal community of Malkanagiri district. When the teacher started talking with the children in their language, all children shouted with the voice of the teacher. Not only that, all students of the class were only from 5 to 6, the age group. And teacher was using the language of the children, that is Koya, during the teaching learning process. And teacher was teaching by showing one big book to all students, and all students were actively responding to the pictures and words of the teachers. All students were talking with the teachers regarding the pictures on the topic, and mostly students were able to understand the instructions of the teacher. Students and teachers were talking with each other like friends. Classroom was decorated like wall hanging pictures and the green board inside the classroom. And children are truly engaged in the act of learning. Children, they were able to answer different questions asked by teacher during transaction of topic and after completion of the topic. That was my experience in that school. So considering the importance I think based on those researches and based on those studies, multilingualism has been placed in the NEP 2020 and also received recognition from different corners. So this is one photo related to that class. This is the response of the students to the teaching learning process. Thank you all.
So, Dr. Latika, in fact, it was a evidence-based presentation, experience-based presentation. She talked about the policy perspective, about three-language formula. This is three-language formula is a very old concept that has been pronounced in Kohari Education Commission report long back in 1964. And also it talks about classical language like Sanskrit mostly, and there are Odia is a classical language.
Yes, sir.
It has also
Odia
been
is there,
identified as a classical language in national education policy. There are so many classical languages. If I correctly understand, as I have learned from you, it is a multilingual and multicultural education.
Yes, sir.
Language is not only important, but
No,
also cultural theme is important. And my experience also is like when I was surveying the chief investigator of 42 ashram schools of that is a collaborative program of UNICEF and Department of Welfare, Tribal Welfare Department. And I have experience of one classroom having students of near Jaipur. I think Latika was there with me.
Yes, sir.
There are students from 6 different languages. So when we are talking of multilingual education, it is normally in the context of tribal areas. It is in the context of tribal areas, multilingual education. And she has nicely expressed her pleasant and unpleasant experience, which are very actual thought-provoking experiences. So with this, because we have now time for question answer. Before going for question answer session, I thank all the 6 presenters, Dr. Shankar Prasad Mahanti, Dr. Romila Soni, Dr. Juvraj Khamari, Dr. Monalisa Das, Dr. Ramendra Pari, and Dr. Latika. In fact, while choosing the subjects, I have also taken the gender issue. We have 10 speakers today. 5 speakers are male and 5 speakers are female, and mostly they are all from young age group. So that because so Romila is my good friend and all are known to me, so I could tell them over phone that to tell from their experience, and all did that. Because if I'll tell some very aged senior professors, then I cannot stop them, and 6 presentation could not have happened. So I also thank Dr. Chittaranjan Naik for just giving a very shape to this colloquium. And now we have sufficient time. We can devote at least 20 minutes for question answer. Now over to Dr. Pradeep. You have to go to chat box, then you will clear and then we will make it open. Pradeep?
Sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All presenters made their presentation very lucidly and with the very depth of one understanding as well as field works. Initially, Dr. Mahanti sir already presented about the detailed procedure and process. So one question is came from our participants regarding this process of changing 10 plus 2 plus 3 to 5 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. This new pattern of NEP is focusing. So this is the question: do you think you have to choose, or I mean to say, the present system is any requirement of changing this old pattern to new pattern? So this is question from one participant. I request Dr. Mahanti sir, please just make your supplement.
Sir. Okay, yes. Thank you, Pradeep sir. Pradeep sir. for elaborating the query. Actually, earlier the structure was 10 plus 2 plus 3. Total years was 15 years. Now it is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So total year. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, sir. Audible, sir.
So earlier 10 plus through plus 3. So 10 years schooling, and within that 10 years schooling plus 2 system was there. In Odisha, actually that plus 2 system was treated as a higher education, but in recent years it has come to school education. So emphasis is given in the new structure, 5 years. Basically, first at foundational stage, that is 5 years. Emphasis has been given for early ECC, early childhood care education, that is preschool education, which was not there earlier. So 3 years of Anganwadi education, and a child will learn 3 years of at Anganwadi level, preschool stage, then 2 years in primary school, class 1 and 2 put together is 5 years. That is it under foundational stage. As the school education, this stage particularly prepares the learner for his or her future learning. This is the basic. This is the foundational stage. Really, they have named as a foundational stage. If the learner's cognitive aspect and his or her developmental aspect will not be taken care of, the entire other stages, the child, or during other stages, the child cannot learn properly. So as
some sound is coming from your screen, projector. Some sound is coming from your screen.
Yes.
Shankar, please brief.
Okay. So the logic behind is secondary education, there will not be any higher secondary. The entire 4-year schooling will be termed as secondary stage. 9, 10, 11, 12. And why this new structure came? Because emphasis was given to early childhood care education at Anganwadi stage. 3 years of schooling that was added, and the elementary stage was 8 up to class 8. The class 1, 2 was included under foundational stage. That is what I understand. But
there is actually one addition, Dr.
Yes.
Mahanti,
Yes,
that is not the only reason. Another reason is keeping on with the developmental stage of the learners.
Yes, sir.
The developmental stage of the learner, I am not going to discuss what are the requirement of these stages. So psychology, there is psychology behind it, and also, as I have already said, the first 5 years, that is perceptual learning. Madam Romila must agree. And second, the development of concepts, that is preparatory stage. And then prescription, there is prescription of subject specific, that is in middle stage, and the abstract, that is the abstract level at the secondary stage. So these are the continuum, and there is all logic, psychologically and logically, these 4 stages have been designed.
Sir, another thing, sir, each stage depends on earlier stage.
Yes, very nice.
Yes.
Thank you. So next question.
Thank you, Dr. Mahanti. Already, sir is supplemented on this answer. Another question was already asked, and Kamila madam already answered in this chat box. So not necessarily to mention. And the last, ma'am.
I think Dr. Pradipta.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Dr. Pradipta, will you just, if you just mute your mic, then my voice will be clear.
Pradipta, mic.
Yeah, I think Jayamala Sethi madam asked about like what do I mean by flexibility in the principles of planning of ECC program. So I found it difficult to write. So this is a good time, you know, when I can talk about. So Jayamala madam and others also, when I said that there has to be flexibility in a ECC program, first of all is like, what do I mean flexibility? So I relate it with the balanced ECC program. So when I say that a one-day ECE program has to be a balanced ECC program, means there are some activities which need to be active and there are some activities which need to be quiet. There are some activities they will be concrete and some activities will be abstract. There's some activities indoors, some activities outdoors, some activities whole group, small group, and individual. And ECC program is flexibility, means there should be no rigid ECC program or no rigid ECE curriculum or syllabus. Second, then ECC program is not a formal program. It follows a non-formal approach, right? Which we take play-based and activity approach. And the third thing is like flexibility means age and developmentally appropriate program. It all depends. Another very good example of flexibility is like in other classes, like from class 1, we prepare a timetable, right? But in ECE program, we do prepare a program plan, but there is no rigidity in that program plan. Like if children want to listen a story first, yes, the teacher will make them listen a story. So these are the few principles of a program planning that when a teacher plan, she has to keep in mind. And with the permission of Chair Professor Pradhan sir, there was a question by Mr. Pradeep Kumar. He asked that after NEP 2020, ECE has been given due. Wait. He has asked me like, what strong differences does NEP will make on ground level practically in ECCE? So I think our chair, Professor Pradhan sir, will also agree that what practical differences we will see now. As a ECE expert, we feel very happy that now ECCE will come into mainstream and will be recognized. One thing is this. And what will be the differences if states and school will actually provide and implement quality ECE program, we will see that smooth transitions from preschool or ECE to class 1. So that will be the benefit, that there will be smooth transition from ECE classes to class 1. Second thing is FLN, that is Foundational Literacy and Numeracy, will be an active part of preschool, but in a play form. And third thing is ECE, FLN will come, but I don't think states and other schools should not make it in a formal way. FLN doesn't mean that children will start will be asked to do forced reading and writing. It will go through a readiness activities. So these are the crisp and quick thing which I can suggest for right now. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Actually, when whether preschool should be continued as 2 years and for 3 years, there was a huge discussion in our NCRT, in our meeting at NCRT Delhi.
Yes,
and
sir.
later on the review of the international scenario, that we decided that it should be 3 years, and we recommended to the government of India.
Yes, I think
there is a large one, our Mr. Govindra Chandra Mahanta,
yes,
Joint Secretary Vidyavarti. They have a system. They have a system of Bal Vatika. He will be telling about the experience. Govinda Bhai, Mr. Govinda Chandra Mahanta. Can you please tell, because you are running a large number of schools across the country and in Odisha.
Please, thank you sir.
हाँ, ये आप वीडियो ऑन करिए, बताइए.
मैं ट्रेन में हूँ.
ओह यस, अच्छा.
इसलिए actually in Orissa we have run 3 to 5 ages of children's that is Sishu Vatika, but in national education policy here mentioned Bal Vatika. Here 3 plus, 4 plus and 5 plus here mentioned, but we have experienced in long years experience on this. We have used mother tongue.
What difference do you find? Because you have the largest system of school education next to government, second to government system. So what is your view about this new structure of PCC, Bal Batika structure?
Here mentioned 3 to 8. It is very nice. Nice in National Education Policy 2020, because we have experience that no detention rate and joyful learning also, and also we have a toy-based learning also we have utilized there. So it is in my view,
So then you support the system.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
I am fully supported.
Thank you. So over to Pradipta.
Okay, thank you, madam, and thank you, Govinda sir. One last question.
Thank you, sir.
Last question is to our Professor Parishad. Question is, the concept of experimental learning is shifting rule learning to practical learning, integrating all discipline of learning. But the thing is that our system of evaluation to be transferred, we have to put more focus on continuous and comprehensive evaluation. So your question is, how can we put more focus on it? The participant desire to know how will more focus towards this continuous and comprehensive evaluation part. This is to Professor Kamarisha, please.
Are you there, Professor Kamari? Okay, let me answer to this question.
Sir.
Like you said, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. You see, the purpose of this experiential learning and what assessment strategy that we are going to follow and proposed in a National Education Policy document to curb coaching culture, memorization. So, reduction of content. Why we are talking of reduction of content? Because when we are giving overloading of content, that leads to memorization, that leads to coaching culture. So, in order to do that, they have tried to reduce the culture and try to develop the skills and competencies. Like in grammar, that will learn in language learning. Grammar is very important. Simply, if you don't give me fish, you tell me how to catch the fish. If you will give me a fish, then I will eat for a day. If you will tell me fishing, then I will eat every time. I will get the fish every time. Similarly, reduction of content and the focus on competencies, learning of competencies, that is also possible through this continuous and comprehensive evaluation. If one unit is taught and it is evaluated, one chapter is taught and it is evaluated, then there will be no question of this memorization. If after teaching the whole year and you take a final examination, annual examination, in annual examination system, what happens? For the whole content, they have to memorize day and night. So, therefore, continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And another one question as regards the model student-teacher ratio of different stages of schooling. One participant desire to know. As I supplement here also before chairman will say about this, as RT already well defined about the student-teacher ratio. This is up to primary level and up to upper primary level. In primary level, up to 150, there is 30:1, and substantial improvement is there. Then after 150, there will be 40:1. This is at primary stage. And upper primary stage, this is 35:1. This is RT already defines. But as regards other part of this part, I request Chairman, our Professor Pradhan sir will supplement in this part.
One concept that has come, that educationally disadvantaged area. What is that short form? ACDG. No. Social economic disadvantage. Another that backward area. I think that there is a term. I exactly don't remember. In that area now it is 1:25. So in RT it was 1:30. You have rightly said, but if you just refer to policy document, in identified areas, there will be identified areas, and there will be again teacher people ratio 1:25.
Thank you, sir. So this is all about the questions what our different participants place their observation as well as queries to know about. Thank you all. Now I request our
Gangadhar sir.
Sir, Dr. Amrendra Das.
No,
will
Amrendra is
just
absent. Pradipta Babu, Amrendra is absent. Gangadhar sir will do the needful.
Okay, I request Gangadhar Das sir just to make this next activities on this part. Gangadhar sir, please.
Sir, you are.
Please unmute Gangadhar ji. Unmute.
Please unmute yourself.
Thank you, sir. Really, we are very much obliged to Professor Nityananda Pradhan sir. Let me summarize the whole session. In the first session, it was organized and inaugurated by Dr. Nityananda Pradhan sir. Then the first resource person was Sanjukta Madam, Dr. Sanjukta Panda. Her topic was vocational knowledge developed in India. She nicely explained her experience in Raighar, Koraput, and purchasing a sari from footpath that is comparable, highly comparable to that of Singapore. Then the second, hello?
Not footpath, sir. That is from Kotpad, a town of a village of Koraput. Koraput district.
Thank you, madam. That is comparable to Singapore sari. Then the second resource person was Dr. N. Rohan Mite. His topic was vocations involving Indian arts and artisanship. He nicely described regarding glass making, pencil, his experience in Manipur. He expressed regarding STEM that always in all the sessions after the resource persons they described added Dr. Pradhan whatever was necessary. Then Professor Pinky Khana Madam expressed her topic and described her topic regarding entrepreneurship and skill development. Then Dr. L.S. Chauhan sir on the topic institution, industry and partnership. He nicely expressed his views regarding apprenticeship, mentorship, etc., and how Raurkela and Bhel, they are important for apprenticeship and mentorship, and how the curriculum is outdated, and NEP 2020 is very much important so far as curriculum designing is concerned. He has nicely expressed his views and added by Dr. Pradhan. Then in the second session, the first of all, Nityananda Pradhan sir expressed his views, introductory speech, where he described regarding learning crisis and how 3.22 children out of school are even now, and how new category, that is transgender is added, etc. The first resource person was Dr. Shankar Prasad Mohanty. His topic was pedagogy at different stages of school education. Very nicely he described the topic, but the thing is that NEP 2020 is most hopeful, and it will solve all problems of our country, as he expressed. We are very much thankful for his hopeful words. Then the second resource person was Romila Soni Madam, Dr. Romila Soni. Topic was international expert. She's an international expert. Topic was ECCE pedagogy. The main thing she discussed that the arise are the she highlighted the arise that these models are already practiced. Interaction is the main aspect, and toy-based pedagogy is there. Child-friendly environment, the importance on parental involvement, etc. And Dr. Pradhan, Nityananda Pradhan sir added regarding National Toy Festival in New Delhi. That was most interesting for all the participants. Then the resource person was the third resource person of the second session was Professor Jubraj Khamari. With topic experience learning, and he described regarding art integration education, sports integration, that is indigenous sports, hand-on learning, etc. And Dr. Pradhan sir, Nityananda Pradhan sir added how content is changed to competency, cross integration pedagogy, and how reflection is important in these activities. That is reflections, that is a new term for all. The last, the fourth resource person was Monanisa Madam, Mrs. Monanisa Das, with the topic introduction of contemporary subjects. She described regarding inculcation of different qualities in the minds of the learners, that is environmental awareness, human values, etc., with his gender sensibility, so also artificial intelligence, and global citizenship education. The main aspect of our topic was artificial intelligence, design thinking, how holistic health and organic health. She put emphasis on holistic health and organic health in NEP 2020. The fifth resource person was Dr. Ramendra Padhi, topic flexibility in choices of subjects, how reduction in curriculum that is overloaded nowadays is to be solved in the new curriculum. It is everybody's policy. 23 lakhs of views taken for consideration before preparation of the new policy. Flexibility in choice of subjects, skill-based requirements, multidisciplinary skills approach. Then Dr. Pradhan Dr. Nityananda Pradhan sir expressed his views regarding a modular approach, etc., reduction of curriculum, etc. The last madam, the resource person, Dr. Latika Misra, she described regarding multilingualism, and she particularly in her topic described her own experience nicely, described her own experience, how there was no interaction at all between the teachers and the students in an Odia school. This was her experience, and she nicely described the importance of multilingualism, how in her project he has experienced everywhere the importance, her better experience. With this, the second session ended, and at last question answer session was started, and the question and answer session of the colloquium ended with prompt answer question answers supplemented by nicely, very nicely, by Dr. Professor Nityananda Pradhan sir. With this I can close. All the resource persons are the pride of our nation. They are very much keen to this NEP 2020. Thank you all, sir.
Instruction from Loka sir that everybody should mute their video so that a photograph can be taken. Is it Pradeep? Pradipta? Everybody should mute their video, sorry, unmute their video so that a photograph can be taken. There is a request from Loka. I do this.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. शांति पाठ मधुसूदन भाई आपण अछंती शांति पाठ करिवे
हाँ सर
करंतु
thank you all sir.
Is it okay?
Lastly I am doing the Shanti part. Om सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति.
Please unmute your mic. Dr. Minaketa.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so I think
anything to declare?
No, sir. I think maybe I can say that I should give special thanks to all the resource persons, those who are giving their valuable time to us for our organizations. I hope in future I will take your help. Particularly whenever we will go for this this community-based approach, particularly in rural area of Odisha, with the objective that we have. So I think that maybe having gone through all these, listening all the lecture, I think someone has shared here that maybe in future, like if you share this, Madam Romira ma'am is sharing this this PPT on that particularly. I'm not talking about the PPT. I'm talking about the video that maybe the model school that you are doing. if you share that video, that will be a asset for us to share at grassroots levels. So maybe also useful for us in future. So
yeah, may I intervene? May I intervene? Yes, Bera sir, I just want to say that the report of the model preschools are there at the website also. So I'll share the link also.
Okay.
It is there at the research gate also. So we are very proud that model preschool report is there at the website. So I'll share the link. And whatever help I can give, definitely I'm there.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So maybe if with these words in future, I will take all the resource person here. So maybe that is, I think this all the lecture is very, very essential in the present context, and also in future, I hope with the
Dr. Vivekananda is also in Delhi. He is in Delhi University.
Not sir, Delhi University. I'm in JNU.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm in JNU. So in future, I will take your help and guidance and suggestions for this mission that we are planning for our organizations. So with this, I think, so this is from my side, and with this expectation, so my future mission is that I'll take your help. Thank you. Thank you. So anything, I think, Nityananda sir, we should now time to wind up.
Now, can we leave the meeting with all thanks to everybody for cooperating, for keeping my request, respecting my request, because all are dear to me and all are known to me.
No, yeah, I should at last, I think I should give thanks to Nityananda sir. So it is because of Nityananda sir, everything is possible. You are here. We are, I think, I really, it is not possible for me to arrange the people like you. So every credit goes to Professor Nityananda Pradhan, maybe in future. So with the help of his suggestions, guidance, so I hope we will proceed further for the mission that we have in our mind. So with
Dr. Nayak is there or not? Dr. Nayak कुछ बोलेंगे?
Chitra bhai, are you there?
Dr. Nayak. अच्छा, मैंने so you can because you are the kingpin. You are
present, sir.
The person behind the entire scene. So you should also say few words.
Chitra bhai, just share some few words about our, if you want to.
You are my colleague at Vivekananda University. He is now in Vivekananda University. Dr. Nayak, थोड़ा face तो दिखाइए.
If you give any opportunity to say, I would say only one thing, that hats up to Professor Nityananda Pradhan and all the resource persons for presenting us a memorable experience. Actually, sir, namaskar. Thank you. So many input have been received. We are collating all, assimilating the ideas. So what an action plan can be presented to the state by this forum, Moga Siksha Parishad. So that will take some days or some fortnights. After planning that, we will definitely seek involvement of all the learned people here, so that we can do something meaningful for our dear society. So that is the motto. So I take this opportunity to invite and to request all the esteemed participants here to extend all possible helps to fulfill the mission. So that is the only thing. And once again, I salute all of you.
Thank you, Chitra sir.
Okay,
now we can leave the meeting.
Yeah, so I think last words I want to say, I think Dr. Pradeep Kumar Sarangi, so I think at least he organized all the things and arranged everything to sending mails and all the things. So last words to, I think, Pradeep, for maybe in future, I hope maybe next week we are planning, next Saturday or Sunday we are planning another program maybe. So will take the help.
Yeah,
with that,
you should add that also, that on 4th of September, we are organizing a special program for research scholars. So that will also be useful. That is for beginners. For beginners who are to start their doctoral research. So how to write a proposal or to identify topic, all these things. So that will be dealt on 4th of September, and Dr. Vivekananda and Dr. Amarendra Das will be resource persons. So that will be another program. On 5th of September, we will have another brainstorming with the participants who could not speak because of paucity of time. They will say what they learned from today and their own experience. So all this series of brainstorming, series of activities, so will help us to devise a strategy that we are in that mission actually. Thank you. So this present announcement is from Vivekananda that we will have one research methodology workshop on 4th of September.
Sir, one thing, sir, all the resource persons are here. So I think my request is that for our benefit, maybe whatever the publication they have, so related to this for the development of this educational, particularly in this vocational education, all these things, practical based application knowledge they have. So if they have shared in terms of document, then we can combine to that maybe we'll upload in our website if Chitabai permit. So that will be asset, documentary asset for us for your future reference. Because all the lectures and I think it's available maybe, so that is be good that we can share. Maybe in future we can convert into Odia language and maybe in other language. So in that form, maybe in future we can do that. If you permit, sir, Nityanand sir.
Has already given our consent in the chat box. You have already her contact number.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So I think namaste, everyone. So it is time to at least, yeah, namaste, sir.
Namaste to all of you, and a special thanks to the
Namaste. Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, sir.
Thanks, sir.